The United States doesn't appear ready to accept a multipolar world, and it perseveres in believing that its place as a global leader is just as it was after 1945, says an article from February 19th on Middle East Eye called Biden's Policy of Containing China, Russia, and Iran is no longer viable. 1945 being not only when the third trumpet began to sound when the United Nations came into being, but also when the United States became the third king of the South, as you can see pointed out in the Daniel 11 hypothesis on biblicalresearchlabs.com. And it's after the Cold War, when the Russian Federation became the third king of the North, that the unipolar moment, as it's called, began, meaning the unipolar globalists held most of the power geopolitically. But nation rising against nation means the goat fig nation rising up against itself from within, because the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8 is symbolic of the shadow government of the Kenites worldwide, split into two warring factions of globalists with Kenites in leadership positions on both sides, the unipolar being made up of the left-right paradigm symbolized by Ammon and Moab, with the multipolar being Edom, which means red. An article from February 20th called U.S. Interventionism labels the two sides as the win-win, which is the multipolar globalists, as opposed to zero-sum competition, which is the unipolar, saying a war of narratives with win-win and zero-sum competition as its two faces has begun with full force. So again, nation shall rise against nation, breaking the great horn of the he-goat, which is the United Nations, in my opinion, which is also the one who sends a raiser of taxes in Daniel chapter 11 verse 20 that gets destroyed, which is the same word in the Hebrew translated as broken in Daniel chapter 8 verse 8. That's when the four notable ones, which are the lion, the bear, the leopard, and the exclusively supernatural fourth beast, rise up out of the sea, so to speak, once Satan and his angels are cast to earth at the woe of the fifth trumpet. The four beasts of Daniel 7 being collectively the one world political system of Revelation 13 that will have 7 heads, meaning the 7 continents of the planet Earth, that then receives a deadly wound, which is what kingdom against kingdom means, and the deadly wound you can also read of in Daniel chapter 11 verses 25 through 27, according to the Daniel 11 hypothesis on biblicalresearchlabs.com. The deadly wound by a sword that gets healed, so to speak, when Satan appears as the Antichrist at the woe of the sixth trumpet in Jerusalem. The true Christ won't return at all until the woe of the seventh trumpet, immediately after the 5-month-long hour of temptation. And as the true Christ says in the last verse of Mark chapter 13, what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch.